pharmacy salary like?
Okay, this is where every person would want to hear. We all choose courses here in Nigeria because of the inducements, the salary. However, the salary for a pharmacy, it differ depending on the level. I wouldn't tell you that after you study pharmacy you become Pablo Escobar in the next 2 years. I wouldn't tell you that you will start building a skyscraper immediately you finish studying pharmacy. However, pharmacy will give you a structure, pharmacy will give you a growth pattern, it will give you a place to stand, then you can fly from there. So I remember my lecturer telling me this, that pharmacy is not for the most hardworking, but for the smart people, right? Smartness has to do with applying the right work, the right hard work rather, then the right timing, the right place, the right time. So it's just like doing the right things at the right time. School, you to gallivant, you don't come to school to party, go around, play. If everybody does that, you as a pharmacy student, it's not for you. I promise you, it's not for you. So you should know why you are in. My name is Pharmacist Akujobi Chisom. I'm an intern pharmacist in the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital.
Is pharmacy difficult?
That is so many questions that we get, a lot of might, a lot of things that we get to talk about as pharmacists, even as pharmacy students. However, I wouldn't tell you that pharmacy is a walk in the park. Neither would I tell you that it is a mountain that you cannot climb. But if you have the right mindset, the right grit, it's possible, you can do it. Just ensure that you do your part as a student and you have the faith that is required that you will be able to do this, because yes, so many persons have done it. Why can't you?
Okay, so for a JAMB, someone that is aspiring to become a pharmacist, what qualities do they need to have before choosing pharmacy? Like, what do they have to have in common with an already pharmacist that will be like, okay, yes, I'm in the right path to choose this pharmacy?
Okay, first of all, we'll talk about the core subjects you need to take as a secondary school student. You have to be a science student first of all before you talk about being a pharmacist. So your WAEC or NECO, whichever you want to use, should be science inclined. When we talk about science, you understand your chemistry, your biology, mathematics has to be there, English has to be there, and your physics. All those requirements should be there. Then for your JAMB, your physics, your chemistry, your biology, your English. How many courses do we have in JAMB? 5. Then your mathematics, I believe so, yes. Those core subjects that are required, even for medicine, nursing, and lab, they're all similar. So you have to pass them, yeah. However, after that is a normal requirement for a science student, but there is an intricate requirement, what is embedded in you as a person, or what is something you can still develop anyway. That's the grit, that's the passion, that is the right attitude to work as a student. So while you are in school, and you should get that in your mind and know that, like I said before, you can do this. If every other person can, with the right attitude to work, with the right discipline, you can. So currently, I think it's over 180 for interns. However, when you then become a pharmacist, it now depends on your level. You have different levels in pharmacy, starting from the reg, the senior pharmacists, the chief pharmacist. There are several strata, several levels. So depending on the level you find yourself, just like other professions, you get paid depending on the level. Then if you find yourself in private establishments, companies, pharmaceutical companies, yes, the same thing applies. And however, some of them do pay good money, so you have to know your audience very well.
Are there areas of specialization in pharmacy?
As a pharmacy student, you have to study all. We have about 6 courses in pharmacy, 6 departments. So pharmacy is a faculty as well as a department. So in the faculty you have about 6 departments, which you as a student would have to go through the 6 of them, after which you do your induction, you do your internship, then you can choose where to focus. You have the academia, those that work in the schools, your lecturers, those that work in the research lab, in schools. You have the hospital pharmacy, just as we have here UPTH. Yes, we are called the hospital pharmacists because we work in the hospital. You have the R&D, that's the research and development, those that do researches and develop drugs like you have it. We also have the regulation, just like you have your NAFDAC and PCN, yes. You have so many regulation that has to do with pharmaceuticals. You can also work there. So pharmacy is very broad, really very broad. Yes, I failed to mention you have the community, just like you have your pharmacies all around your streets, the nook and cranny of your environs. Those are called the community pharmacy. So yes, pharmacy is broad. You have a lot to do in pharmacy. There are even pharmacies in telecommunication, in oil and gas industry. So pharmacy is very broad. You are not limited. So many things you can do and achieve. So yes, after graduation, you can choose where to specialize, where to do your work. but people have seen people transit from one aspect of pharmacy to another. So pharmacy is holistic. You are trained to be a whole scientist, a whole individual, a whole healthcare practitioner in the such that anywhere you find yourself, you are important.